the whole idea is we've relaunched one of our big brands, Ariel, and the idea is to continue improving the products that we give to our consumers in Kenya and in East Africa as a whole. So today we've got a massive launch. We are dubbing it the ultimate guarantee behind the fact that we have Ariel is a really superior product that we believe will improve the lives of the consumers in our East African market.
What advised the change to this particular product, though?
Oh my God, it's a good question. We have consumers asking us all the time and telling us about the different things they want in a product. We do a lot of consumer research, and what you learn is, at the end of the day, the consumer wants to be able to do their laundry in the most efficient way while protecting their clothes. And because of that, we are giving them a product that allows them to clean better, clean faster, and at the end of the day, make sure that their garments are safeguarded.
Of course, we're looking at a very growing manufacturing arm in the Kenyan, of course, economy. And also, I think it's part of the Big Four agenda by President Uhuru Kenyatta. Still, Ariel is not produced in Kenya. Are we looking at any of that conversation happening in foreseeable future?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the way we look at it is the first thing we want to do is give the best value to the consumers. And because of that, we have a policy of sourcing centrally. So today we source from Cairo, and we take advantage of the COMESA agreement that we have with, we take advantage of the COMESA agreement, which allows us to provide fantastic product to the consumer at a really affordable price. In the meantime, we contribute beyond that the Kenyan economy directly and indirectly, either through taxes or through the agencies that we work with, through the media activities that we do. So yes, we're not producing locally. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is sourcing from Cairo, taking advantage of COMESA, and that allows us to give the consumers the best possible value for great quality product.
For the FMCG industry, do you see a way in, or rather a shift in the way that companies are operating and how to innovate on that particular front?
Yeah, I think I can speak for P&G, where, as I said before, we're constantly speaking to the consumers. And we learn every day. And for example, one of the things we've realized is in these tough economic times, consumers are looking for value. They're looking for smaller sizes. We've just increased our range of products by introducing a 30-gram SKU that retails for around 10 Kenya shillings. This is because we are listening to the consumer and we understand that we understand their needs, and because of that, we're able to give them a solution that they need today that allows them to be able to still enjoy the benefits of a big brand like Ariel.
Still on the innovation bit, though, maybe more on P&G. Do you think it's rather more harder to innovate in the local market than for the rest?
Not really. Actually, what we've learned is the innovation sometimes is looking at us in the face, and the fact that we realize when we don't talk to the consumers adequately, when we're not, we normally go to their homes, we watch how they shop, and that informs us on what they need. Because sometimes they won't come and tell you, I need a product that removes stains in one wash. They won't come and say, I want Ariel, I want the ultimate guarantee. But by listening to them, we get to understand what they want, and with that we're then able to innovate and relevantly for the market in that sense.
We believe you've done good research on the market. So just quickly give us a look into the Kenyan market there. How different is it from the rest of the East African nations or even the global market as per this particular time?
Yeah, I think the one thing, and I like to inverse that question and say, rather than how different is it, it's more like how similar it is, because what we've realized is that we have a lot more similarities between a consumer in Kenya, a consumer in Uganda, a consumer in Rwanda. The way they wash, for example, is pretty much the same. The way they consume sanitary pads or diapers is very much the same. So we tend to look for the similarities because that allows us to build scale, allows us to then innovate for much bigger population rather than trying to segment the markets into small pieces, because then it becomes very difficult. But when we look at them as one big group of consumers with very similar tendencies, that makes it easier for us to actually innovate.
How do the opportunities weigh out the challenges that the market is currently facing in Kenya?
Yeah, I think the challenges will always be there, but I think the one thing that is consistent is there are jobs to be done from a product perspective. So as I said, irrespective of the challenges that we have, consumers are going to wash their clothes. Then the million-dollar question is, how do you ensure that you're meeting that consumer at their right level? So as I said before, with Ariel, we've launched a tensioning SKU. That's because we know there are consumers today who are struggling. But in the same breath, we have a 3.5 kg product that allows you to cater for the bigger families, somebody with a much bigger cash outlay. So at the end of the day, I think the opportunities are right in front of us. The challenges will always be there, but the question is, how do you understand those challenges and then answer them in a consumer-relevant way by providing the product that works for them at the best value?
Anthony, before I let you go, we understand that, of course, P&G invested about 300 million Kenyan shillings into cleaning about 71 million liters of water in the Nyanza region there in Kenya. Tell me more about this.
That's a good question. This is a program we've been doing for the last 15 years. It's one of our longest surviving corporate programs.
15 or 6 years?
Sorry?
Is it 15 or 6 years?
It's been 15 years. It's been running for 15 years.
All
and
right.
We call it the Children's Safe Drinking Water Program. And the whole idea is we have this, I call it magical. I mean, Michael, if you saw it operate, you'd be amazed. It's a simple sachet that we call Pure, that you can put in a bucket of 10 liters. You get very dirty water from a river, pour the little sachet inside and stir. And what this does is that it actually purifies the water by removing any bacteria, any sediments in it. And we do it in a very simple way so that the consumer can actually do that at home. All they need is a bucket, the product, a cooking stick, and they sieve it once it's settled down, and they have a glass of drinking water. It's an amazing product, and it's really, really changing the way that consumers, we're really helping improve the health of consumers, especially in Nyanza.
All right. Thank you very much, Anthony, for creating time to speak to CNBC Africa.